What's going on, everybody? Eric Lindquist at Stochastic here on the Odd Chopper channel, coming to you with another edition of MLB and NBA Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell. Goes a long way for me on this video, goes a long way for you. That way you become apprised whenever great content is going live here at our little neck of the YouTube woods. Not a great start to the card for me here in the MLB streets. The NBA, the one play, just nuked the over, so that was a terrible decision on my part. But anyway, it's been a really profitable last 4+ years here on this video, covering everything I possibly can, trying to give you the best information I can night before. Last Friday, hitting absolute nukes everywhere. Everybody two-piece parlaying all of my pieces together. Ryan O'Hearn, of course, it's the home run here early, but ended up on 4 home runs in Arizona, Baltimore, as well as that over. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. My problem is when people go into the comment section and say, we don't like your personality or you're wasting our time. I'm not wasting your time. I'm working really, really hard, and I'm going to do the videos the way that I want to do the videos. Sound great? Awesome. Thank you, producer Jacob, for always being awesome every single day, even when we're working really, really late like tonight. Because why? We have 15 MLB games and 10 NBA games. And if you don't think that I didn't, like, absolutely every stone unturned, you would be wrong. And I do that every freaking day. That's why I'm still here. That's why a lot of people don't have these shows either. So it is what it is. Thank you, producer Jacob, for also just always being a beacon of light. I'm going to miss him here this Friday. He's going to go to Europe for a week, and we'll be doing this show live. Hopefully you're ready to rock with that one. Not sure if I'm going to do it evenings or mornings yet. Still figuring out the specifics, but we're going to be working through a lot of the information that I'm coming through night before, maybe an hour and a half live show. So that's going to be what you have to deal with if you want to be checking out my content for a week, which I think a lot of people do. Lindy5 still active here on this program. $5 using code Lindy5 for your first week. Less than $1 a day. Pretty darn good deal to jump into the Discord, which has been popping for the last couple of weeks. But yeah, it was a bummer to see. Just put me in a bad mood. So I'm going to get this show done really, really fast just to make you happy. Plus, there's 25 games. So producer Jacob, without further ado, let's get to the picks. Now, I always try to pay attention because I do know that there are a lot of people, hey, it's a standalone game. Eric, what's going on here? Well, hopefully you took my warning. I just really don't like betting home runs here on the New York Yankees at these kind of prices. They were egregious. They were just as egregious as what I was expecting them to be. I think on Andy Ibanez, and I saw he had a 3-run shot, but otherwise, just a game I stayed away from, and I'm going to stay away from it more than likely again unless we have Kerry Carpenter or Riley Green, specifically Kerry Carpenter, with the 2+ bases, absolutely out there, smacking baseballs around the lot. And it's Tariq Skubal, so we're really not going to go out of our way to go pick on him. I think that's pretty clear-cut, although 15.2% barrel percentage, it's just 2 starts. We'll chill out here. Carlos Carrasco on the other side. I cheer for him in life because of his entire story. If you don't know, he had cancer. He's an awesome dude. Everybody in Cleveland absolutely adored him. New York Mets, same thing. He's a professional. He's an absolute professional. But with the Yankees, it's probably going to be tough sledding for him here going forward. White Sox, Cleveland Guardians up here next. And this one's weird to me because you do have this new pitcher who had crazy strikeout stuff in AAA, Shane Smith. It's been the opposite so far. 13.6% K rate, really not finding swings and misses. 4-seamer, he's throwing 42.5% of the time. The slider changeup really aren't inducing any swing and miss, and that is a recipe for disaster in a ballpark that's playing shorter for lefties. But it's supposed to be pretty cold in Cleveland. The wind's blowing slightly in towards right field, so more than likely end up staying away from that game. But want to give a shout out to Andrew Benintendi on the White Sox side, going up against a pitcher here in Ben Lively, who has crazy fly ball numbers there to lefties. And again, it's a ballpark, progressive field. They played way up for lefty power in 2024. The Dodgers, the Washington Nationals up next. Keibert Ruiz, look at that. 2+ bases, 2+. I didn't even know that I did that until this very moment. That's adorable, Eric. Anyway, Keibert Ruiz, he's going to be going up against an interesting southpaw here in Rob Lesky for the Dodgers. I don't love his stuff, and I don't think the Dodgers do either. I don't even know if he's long for this game, but we've been seeing him bat third in the lineup there. I do want you to really wait, and he's probably the 3 out of the 3 up here, the one I'm the most interested in, but I know a lot of you guys really are looking for those early games, so maybe Carpenter, Benintendi, 2+ bases, have something to cheer for. I think they're both in really, really good spots. Just think the odds are a little bit efficient at the moment. Need more books to roll out some numbers. We got Toronto, Boston up next in the lean department. Again, these are the leans. These are not the things that are plays yet. And obviously, Ben Rice was a nice call last time. So, there's that. Probably should have played that one. Hit a triple right away there in that was 3rd, 4th inning. Whatever, I was watching a little bit. We got Toronto, Boston here. I don't really like taking these run lines when it's Guerrero Crochet because we know they're inflated. And Easton Lucas, he ended up getting his start pushed back. Now, I was lucky I was on Kyle Kerm's show when Jose Barrios ended up being the starter. I would have done some Hulk slam things, and it would have probably gone very poorly if I had all of my devices fully operational and all of my sheets updated for that news. But went from that show to the Stochastic DFS show. Now I'm here with you 5.5 hours later after covering both of those. Whew, it's been a day, friends. Anyway, we know Garrett Crochet's pretty damn good. Boston, Hitters Park. We'll see how this progresses, but definitely don't want to be firing that up here at the moment because it's inflated. Miami up against the Mets here. Clay Holmes under 1.5 earned runs allowed. I do think that there's just merit to firing some of these with good pitchers against the Marlins. This entire season. We'll see. Kadai Senga under 1.5 was like minus 130. That was a little surprising. He hit. His strikeouts did not, and I apologize. I did have a quarter unit parlay. Didn't end up K-laddering him, which was useful. People on Twitter wanted to let me know that I got that wrong. He ended up getting pulled after 5, but a good start for him nevertheless. That's what the Mets were looking for. The Phillies and Braves, Sale, over 6.5 Ks. This one I'm really interested in from a prop department because I am quite positive here, Mr. Phillies, Mr. Braves. This is going to be a shootout. This is going to be fantastic. And by shootout, I mean a sling out because it's Zach Wheeler and Chris Sale. We are not expecting runs. That's what I'm getting at. But it's just going to be the game that I want to watch the most on the entire slate, whether or not I bet it. I'll have it on in the background as I'm working on the next day's slate, as I always am. But Chris Sale looking auspiciously good at the early going. My biggest problem here, only 2 books, minus 150 and minus 160, a little inflated. We'll see some of these alt numbers and see if there's something that we can fire up. Next page, we got 3 more here. Twins, Kansas City, under 7.5. This is really tough for me to get a hold on because, again, wind blowing in, a lot of weather that we've got going in the early of the season because it is April 8th. Kansas City and Minnesota. Yeah, the Midwest is not exactly going to play clean the entire time. It's, and then we get thunderstorms starting in May and June. And then, it's a heat wave. Can they even play in 115-degree weather in Sacramento? We'll find out. We will be finding out. Anyway, the pitchers in this one, want to cover that for you. Pablo Lopez, Cole Ragans, both pretty darn solid. That's really what this comes down to in the analysis. It's very clear-cut. Pablo Lopez has this BABIP that has to regress. It just has to, in a good way, positive regression. And Cole Ragans, right off the bat, he is nice. He's what the kids call nice. Let's move on to Houston money line. This is another lean that I just can't really get myself to pull the trigger. And we have plenty of plays coming, so don't worry your sweet Bippy. We got Luis Castillo, a number of different Houston starters that I've seen because Spencer Arrighetti was in left field playing catch apparently, and a ball hit him and broke his hand. So we are not going to get Spencer Arrighetti. I think you probably see Framber Valdez end up taking the start and move up a day. We'll see. He should be able to go here considering his rest lines up for it. But yeah, Spencer Arrighetti going to be out with a broken hand on his pitching. I mean, that is so fluky. That is so unbelievably freaking fluky. No mom spaghetti jokes going forward. So some of you win. San Diego A's, by now, this is a ballpark we definitely got it out for. We're definitely paying close attention to. But it's still in cease. It's Jeffrey Springs. These are 2 really quality pitchers, but ballpark adjusted, that's got me leaning towards the over 8.5. Just don't really want to be playing it. It's thin. The data says I should, although Dylan Cease 184 expected batting average and Jeffrey Springs 21.7% hard hit is giving up fly ball contact. It's kind of worrisome. 287 expected batting average, kind of worrisome against a San Diego team that already makes contact a lot, but weak contact is kind of useful. 12.5% walk rate needs to come down against a team like San Diego as well. You put guys on, you give it up to Machado, you give it up to, middle of the order there. Jackson Merrill getting a day off on Monday. I bet you pinch hit, but we'll see how that pans out. Anywho, those are your leans. Let's get ourselves to some official plays to break down. But first, friends, Lindy 5, you guys want to sign up for the Discord, which has just been popping. And I got to say, everybody's just wonderful in there. Obviously, didn't have my best stuff early on here on Monday. Hopefully, we can get some runs across the plate in the later half of this ball game here, Baltimore and Arizona, as that is rocking. But definitely giving you my best every single day and been very profitable here at the start of MLB, which has been nice for a change because generally I get hot starting in May. And then we really ball out because, well, you'll see a lot more locks rolling in. You'll see a lot more units across the board. And, obviously we're just going to keep staying structured. It is still early. We're still accumulating sample size, but The NBA playoffs, man, I cannot wait for them. And obviously, NBA, we've been unit tracking that here on this program the last few weeks for you, just so you can see the forward-facing results. They have been splendid. So, Lindy 5, if you guys are interested, less than $1 a day to come kick it. I've got pick'em cards. I've got all of my bets every single day. Come kick it. Alrighty, y'all. To the picks, the official likes. We go. St. Louis, Pittsburgh. We're going to get flying here now. We got plenty to talk about. Sonny Gray, Paul Skeens, both of them confirmed very good at the baseballs. But no matter what, no matter how, you give me inside of minus 150 on Paul Skeens right now, I have to take it, especially Vaughn Herrera. He is out. This guy was one of the best hitting catchers to start off the season. I was super high on him coming into this season. Word around the streets there in St. Louis was that he was going to be the everyday catcher over Pages, and well, he was hitting the ball so good that they were DHing him at times, and they were going to continue. Well, he's out of the lineup, and now you get Pittsburgh up against Sonny Gray, giving up a 53.8% hard hit, as opposed to Paul Skeens. Paul Skeens has been at 20.7%, 214 expected slugging, 29.5% K rate. He is every bit as advertised. Minus 140, man. You got to pull the trigger on a first 5 in this situation with this St. Louis lineup that I just don't trust day in, day out. And Pittsburgh, hey, they did enough to get our over a 4.5. That was really nice. And St. Louis just needed 1. Thank you for plating 1. That was useful. Anyway, first 5, Pirates money line, currently minus 140. And that is your play. Next up on the agenda, let's go to the long ball. And I've got 2 of them, and I'm taking a leap of faith, but considering their quarter unit plays, I'll eat it no matter what, because I think they're going to be plays no matter what. Tampa Bay going up against the Los Angeles Angels, just to touch base. We got Kyle Hendricks, and I'm definitely going to have Brandon Lau interest. I'm definitely going to have Jake Mangum interest, whatever that is, although probably not going to be in terms of power. He's just one of the best contact guys. I think he had the batting title in AAA. Don't quote me on that, but I remember seeing that name from then. And now I'm just breaking down his big league numbers because they're going to be more indicative of who he is going forward. And 262 expected batting average, right in that cleanup 5-hole spot. Yeah, not the power you're generally seeing from that position, but it makes sense. Cameron Meisner smacking to base, hitting the baseball hard. Brandon Lau, though, and Jonathan Aranda. But let's focus in on the Angels, shall we? Because they get Shane Baz, who has just been striking out everybody when healthy, although gives up crazy power over the course of his career to righty bats. Yes, a reverse splits righty here in Shane Baz. 53.8% hard hit, has been a little bit lower, get low like an 18-wheeler, but we got ourselves an interesting spot where we can double dip Mike Trout and Logan O'Hoppe. Now, I boxed in all of the homers there in the Angels spot, had Logan O'Hoppe there, missed on the Soler one. That hurt my feelings. We're going to skip over him yet again because his numbers are always so short. He's been hitting the ball so hard for years, and books just really don't give you advantageous prices on him. But despite how hot, and I'm not a huge hot streaks guy, you'll learn that about me, but there's something to be said about a 477 xWOB, a 63.2% hard hit for Logan O'Hoppe, and a 28-degree launch angle heading to a Tampa Bay ballpark, Steinbrenner Field, that is Yankees dimensions in heat and humidity. So, friends, we're going to fire up both of these quarter unit. Mike Trout, anything better than plus 275, which is going to happen. And Logan O'Hoppe, anything better than plus 300, that also is going to happen. Let's keep it going, boys. Let's keep it going. Texas and Chicago, and yeah, the first 5s ended up hitting one of the 3. It wasn't pretty. It never was remotely in play with how good Justin Steele played at home. I talked about it. It looked like the matchup there. Nathan Eovaldi just didn't have anything, but you have Patrick Corbin on the mound. Patrick Corbin. He's a gas can. I know my buddy Kyle Kerms absolutely loves Patrick Corbin and loves to back him. Oh, these prices are crazy. We're going to get Cy Corbin today, Eric. Well, yeah, that used to be a thing, but over the course of the last 4 big league seasons, 5.62, 6.41, 6.16, 5.53 expected ERA. Nothing I just said is remotely good. Also, hard hits north of 44% the last 3 seasons. Only a 15.7% K rate in 2023, which is another massive sample size. I have no idea how they are just rolling this guy out into another team. So, Texas, have fun with him. Washington's cast off. You're not going to make anything of him. It's just, it's not going to go well. So, we're just going to take the Cubs money line, right? Yeah, we're going to blindly take the Cubs money line. It's not blindly. I'm looking at Patrick Corbin on the other side. That's what this comes down to. Jameson Taillon, just keep the ball in the park. That'd be fun. Milwaukee going up against Colorado here. To Coors Field we go. And I'm a little surprised to see a minus 105, 9.5. And that is because Fastball Freddy, now his stuff won't be as effective when you go to altitude because he is a primary fastball guy. That's why we call him Fastball Freddy. But even though he's got a 214 xWOBA to start off the season, and even though he's got a 34.8% K rate to start off their two starts, they're just two starts. And going to altitude does some weird things to you, my friends. We have to be targeting him in this ballpark to some extent. But I really am not going to do it by backing Colorado top to bottom. It will be targeting Kyle Freeland as well, who traditionally has been really good on the road. And that's where he started the season, 261 xWOBA, 341 expected slugging. It's about to get markedly worse. And despite Milwaukee not being the team that I really like all that much this season, you got Churio, even left on left Yelich and Bryce Terang. Like, there's enough here where I think you just stack it up here over 9.5. It is way too easy. You're minus 105 at BetMGM. If it were sitting at like minus 115 and above, probably wouldn't be a play, but 10 cents inside of where I expected it to open. So get it at 9.5, get it over at minus 105 at BetMGM, and thank me later. We got another over. Oh yeah, the roof's going to be open in Chase Field again, and that is really good stuff. If you haven't looked, there are definitely park adjusted factors here. Now we've got a 2-0 ball game here in the third. Okay, can we get things going just to keep things moving, you know? Oh yeah, I'm in a bad mood today. It's fine. Yeah, we're just gonna take the over of 9 yet again. The roof is open. I've gone through the data, and yes, Charlie Morton, Merrill Kelly, not complete gas cans, but they have been so far this season. 19.4% barrel percentage, 16% barrel percentage for Morton. Both of them awful numbers. And yeah, Merrill Kelly, 481 xWOBA, heading home where he likes to the place where I belong, where over 9 is good enough for me. Minus 110. Minus 110 everywhere, except no, minus 115 at FanDuel. So there you go. Have fun. And the last game of the MLB slate, we are going to Cincy, San Francisco, and had some late plays. Again, I was working all the live long day tonight, trying to get some really good plays. We had four games going. I haven't seen not 1 second of Houston and Florida, not just because I grew up a Duke fan, but you know, just busy as fuck. Anyway, I like the under. I really don't want to waste your time because that's what I heard is I was wasting people's time. So I guess I'm not going to waste your time. The data loves it. Nick Lodolo looks awesome. Landon Raup has been unbelievable besides the walks. Needs to avoid the walks to guys like Ellie De La Cruz, but Matt McClain not in the lineup again today. Weird stuff going on there, but under 7.5, not getting as much interest, it seems, as what I expected. This should be 7. So bet it while it's 7.5. Minus 110 at Bet365. Ooh, that's behind me. That's convenient. Bet 5, get 150, friends. If you live in the states of Iowa, Arizona, Colorado, Indiana, Illinois, Louisiana, New Jersey, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, Virginia, Kentucky, or North Carolina, come on and raise up. Take your shirt off. Twist it around your head. Spin it like a helicopter. Those are all good things to do. Plus, you're going to get yourself $150 in bonus bets. All you do is go to the link below. You bet $5 when you deposit $10 or more. Yes, deposit $10 or more. You'll get $150 in bonus bets. So fire it up. It's only if you're 21 and over, 18 and over in Kentucky. If you have a gambling problem, please call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. We're going to fly through the NBA, but I got to get you that NBA goodness. We're rounding out the year. So as long as MLB took me today, which was a long time, I usually start in the afternoons purely because I want to get all of the pitcher information out ahead of time before I go into my simulations. Let me tell you how awful it was to go through the NBA tonight. It was awful. Anyway, Mark Williams and going up against the Charlotte Hornets. And the reason that it's so difficult to do this time of year is you really want to know what teams are playing for. You got to have an idea of what, like Charlotte, we know that they haven't been playing for anything since like the day the season started. But outside of that, we got to be very patient and figure out where some of these Western Conference teams are. And let me tell you, it is jumble-rooskied. Memphis, Lakers, all these teams in the West, 3 through 6, need to win basketball games. So I expect it to be a competitive spot in that one. But Mark Williams, there's no reason he has to play 32 minutes in any of these spots. I choose to stay away. I choose business ethics. Ironically, that's in Eric. Eric's a bad man. Cleveland minus 11.5. You've got no Donovan Mitchell out in that one. And Chicago, they want to win basketball games because they're jockeying for position for the play-in tournament. Yeah, you want to probably have the home court, but I guess it doesn't really matter. They're going to be in 9, 10 seed. Doesn't really matter to me. I'd just rather everybody be healthy. You're looking at a spot where they could end up resting Josh Giddey, and that's my main thing here. You have Vooch questionable on the injury report. Cleveland, they've pretty securely ran away with the 1 seed here, so we don't have to think about too much there. Doubt they push the minutes for Garland, so we're going to keep it off the card for now. Claxton double-double. He's back in our lives here for Brooklyn. Brooklyn, they don't want to win this game. Neither does New Orleans on the other side. They're going to do ridiculous stuff, and I thought Carlo Makovich would look better than he does, but some of his numbers have caught up. Boston taking on the New York Knicks here. Jalen Brunson, the New York Knicks, they're kind of stuck at that 3 number. Probably going to be the 3 seed, but you know Tibbs, you know how this goes. Going up against a Boston team that has just owned their soul this season. So have fun with that one. Not going to touch it for now. Golden State Phoenix. This one is going to be entertainment because, well, Phoenix, they're kind of by the wayside, but Golden State, they really need to have this one. That's why I'm going against the data and not taking Phoenix plus 8.5 because I think context really matters in these kind of spots. San Antonio and the Clippers under 227.5. Clippers, they want to keep winning. They should keep winning. Chris Paul coming back to his home. Like, are they going to give him a video? He's played enough games there for other teams that probably not, but I think it's his first time at that new arena. Ooh, it's going to be nice and shiny. Going to be fun. Actually, no, second. They had a game earlier. I should know. Yeah. Anyway, let's get to the actual plays. Party time. Washington, 18.5 point dogs taking on Indy. Well, what a lovely place to start. I just get talking about implications, Eric. Why are we talking implications? Well, I mean, again, it's just one of those spots where you have to be looking every single time that you're about to make a bet in the NBA and remind yourself, if you're going to bet it between Monday and Sunday, what is that team playing for? What are the implications? In Indy, well, they're kind of just sitting by the wayside, just chilling in the 4 seed. Now, they're 3 games up on Milwaukee. They're definitely jockeying as far as like, oh, do we want to be playing at home here against Milwaukee? Yeah, that would be the ideal scenario. But there's also a world where if New York were to fall back, where you would have Indy surge to the 3 hole where they'd take on Detroit. Now, I don't know which teams prefer what, but Milwaukee is one of those teams that can slide to the 6 hole. And I think no matter what, that's the team you want to be matching up against there if Dame Lillard is not going to be there, as opposed to the Pistons. It's kind of weird to say. Who would have thunk that this time of year? The Pistons, they've been playing it really close to the best with guys like Tobias Harris. Jaren Duren gets ruled out of nowhere there. He's in, he's out, he's in, he's out. And then he ended up playing yesterday, which was Sunday. And then Monday ends up out for this ridiculous 2-game slate that we had. So cool stuff. Way to go, guys. Anyway, I love the under. You should probably know by now. I've been betting a lot more unders here over the course of the last month. I think you definitely want to be invested. So be invested under 238.5. I have it about 4.5 points too high. Washington and Indy. Yeah, what a barn burner. Now, this one's entertaining to me. Atlanta and Orlando, because I think this is your most likely 7-8 scenario that we're looking at. I talked about the Bulls being in the 9 hole right now. Miami's currently playing Philly. Is that game over yet? Yeah, it's over. They've been done forever. This is as late as you'll probably find me record. I mean, we are burning the midnight oil. Oh, we should get back to this, shouldn't I? Yeah, we're not going to get too cute here. It's very straightforward. Props. Props are definitely the way to go about this one if you're going to have a competitive game. And I'm surprised to see a 24.5 pop-up for my guy who, if you're in the premium Discord, you know, we've had a love-hate relationship with him over the last month. It's mostly been love, but some hate recently because I haven't bet him when I'm like, I'm going to stay away from the matchup. We're just going to bet it regardless of matchup here going up against Orlando as they try to fight for who's going to get that home court in the 7 seed spot. Again, they are the 7 and 8 seeds as we speak. It would be awesome for Atlanta to surge up, and obviously Chicago. That's why I think they'll probably end up sitting this one out on the wayside. Just play the health game because trying to catch Atlanta, man, going to be tough. Give me a Kongwu. 24.5 points plus rebounds. Minus 115. Little juice heavy, but I'm more than okay with that at Bet365. 2 spreads to round it out. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell as I talk Lakers and OKC. I do not expect a slacking like we got from the Lakers side, but I do want to throw out one caveat here. One caveat that worries me a little bit. Luka plays Dallas on Wednesday. I can't imagine they're going to rest Luka on Wednesday if he plays here on Tuesday. So I think you're just looking at Luka playing Tuesday, Wednesday. Might get the entire team to himself. Maybe you have LeBron and Austin Reeves sit out, but the Lakers, man, they have a ton to play for. They are currently the 3 seed in the West, but they could fall all the way to the 8 seed if things break a certain way. You heard me. 3 through 8 is live. They're all within a game and a half of each other. Actually, 2 games. The Lakers are up on Minnesota and Memphis. So this is going to be a super entertaining last 6 games here. So the Lakers, you're getting their full blast against OKC. And then you could potentially see a lot of weirdness here on the Dallas spot based on where everybody's jockeying, because they are the ones with the game and a half cushion over the 4 seed in Denver. This would be a huge one. However, they're 14.5 point dogs, so I don't want to go crazy, but OKC secure. They've been done for like a month. They've had the 1 seed the whole time. They're 12.5 games up on Houston? What are we even doing here? Give me the Lakers getting points in a must-win spot for them. Well, not must-win, must-compete spot, because winning games kind of important if you are in the Western Conference at the moment. And the last game of the night, we're going a little out of order just because I screwed something up on the sheet, so it is what it is. We got Minnesota at Milwaukee. Boy, oh boy, friends, this one is going to be entertaining as well. Both teams, tons to play for. Minnesota, they are sitting there in the 7 hole, but they could move as high up as the 3 hole. I just broke everything down there for you with the Oklahoma City Lakers spot. So pay attention to this one. Minnesota 3.5. I really think, even though you're getting Milwaukee full bore, you gotta lay 3.5 here with Minnesota. The West is so incredibly important to get after, and I was surprised to see 3.5 even available. So go bet that. Also bet 365. Man, they've had a lot of the best available lines. Why don't you check them out? Bet 5. Get yourself 150 in bonus bets if you're 21 and over. If you're gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. To the end of the video we go. And that does it for another edition of MLB Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks, and NBA Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. Head to the comment section below. This was a doozy. 25 games to break down. Hopefully you enjoyed. Hopefully I stayed more on target for you today. Thanks, everybody. Hit that like button on the way out. Thank you, everybody, also for kicking in the Discord. Lindy5, would love to see you guys there. Let's get out of here, producer Jacob. Until next time, friends, I'm Eric Lindquist. Best of luck in the MLB and NBA streets on Tuesday.